Welcome to the 2013 Ultimate Portfolio presentation. This is a presentation to success. Let me introduce you to the team of specialists. Firstly, we have Hattie. She's extensive experience being a financial analyst and certainly does not hesitate when it comes to hard tasks. Next, we have Nick, all the way from Kuala Lumpur. He's a financial guru whose financial advice is highly sought after. Lastly in our team is Gemma. She's passionate about investing with an eye for underpriced and high potential stocks. This portfolio is directed towards individuals and couples in their early 20s who are looking to effectively invest $100,000. Now you have met the team, let's look at our portfolio objectives. Firstly, we want to ensure you are able to provide your children with a good education. Secondly, we want to build your investment portfolio with the view for you to retire comfortably at age 55 with a good pension from the public service and your investments. Lastly, we want to ensure your investment is tax effective. The overall investment strategy for this portfolio is essentially based on investing in value stocks with a high risk tolerance over a long term. It is generally accepted that with a long-term strategy, passive management of a portfolio is the preferred method over an active management strategy. The initial investment strategy will involve the purchasing of stocks based on a 5 to 10 year outlook. There will be regular reviews of the portfolio, in particular as the client draws nearer to their retirement. Overall, this portfolio will lead to success. Firstly, we have chosen Summit Resources, who currently mine uranium. Uranium price recently dropped 30% due to reactor closures in Germany and Japan. Nevertheless, price is expected to continue to rise as demand will be greater than supply. Long-term vision is that nuclear energy will be in demand as non-renewable energy sources are unsustainable and contribute to global warming. These stocks are considered underpriced. Next, we have chosen Resolute Mining, who currently mines both gold and uranium. This asset is also in the mining sector, though has a broader range of activities than Summit Resources. Whilst it holds 83% stake in Valhalla Uranium, its main focus is gold mining in Australia and Africa, with both foreign and Australian partnerships and investments. This is considered a value stock due to the global nature along with its focus of gold mining, which adds to the diversification and stability of the portfolio. Next, we have chosen Berkeley, who currently deals with automobiles and spare parts. The Australian automotive industry is in decline. Consequently, spare parts, repair and maintenance sector is profiting. The Australian economy has seen an increase in spending on essential items and a reduction in spending on non-essential items. Demand will increase in the spare parts market, indicating that these stocks are underpriced. Next, we have chosen Boral, who currently deal in construction and building materials. Boral manufactures building and construction materials in Australia, United States and Asia. National and foreign interests will assist in diversifying this portfolio. A recent restructure of the business in key sectors has made Boral more responsive to high and low periods. There is also evidence of an improving housing cycle in Australia and United States. Next, we have chosen Argo Investments, who manage a portfolio of assets. Argo Investments has been a proven performer over a long period. The company has equity in a range of the top 20 blue chip companies on the ASX, including the Big Four banks and mining giants Rio Tinto and BHP. This asset should run close to the market index and provide a stable platform for the portfolio, and as such is considered a core investment. Next, we have chosen Ridley Corporation Limited, who sells farm products. Ridley produces a various range of stock feeds and animal supplements. We envisage a higher demand for these products as more and more animals are farmed in less traditional ways, particularly the growing demand for aquaculture products due to overfishing. This is a growing industry with demand increasing more rapidly with each passing day. Next, we have chosen Charter Hall Retail, in which are a real estate investment trust. This asset has been included in the portfolio as a core asset to provide portfolio balance. Investments are held throughout Australia, New Zealand, Europe and the United States. The real estate market will have its ups and downs, but over the long term should provide growth and value for the portfolio. Lastly, we have chosen Brambles, in which transport goods, particularly food items. Brambles are showing a good return on its equities, particularly an increase in the United States revenues and other foreign income with the recent purchase of Palcon. This asset will provide further portfolio diversification, with Brambles being a global business and not tied directly to the Australian economy. To evaluate these stocks, we will review the following 4 areas. Firstly, this Morningstar investment box demonstrates that the portfolio is appropriate for our client objectives of a passive, long-term investment with a high tolerance for risk. Secondly, this correlation matrix indicates that Summit Resources and Resolute Mining are the only stocks that have a negative correlation. All other correlations are positive and relatively low, with the highest being between Boral and Brambles. The lack of correlation between the stocks adds to the balance and diversification of the portfolio. Next, we have the capital market line that identifies the global minimum variance portfolio, highlighted in blue, and the tangency point portfolio, where the black line meets the red dot. This graph identifies that the global minimum variance portfolio has a standard deviation far lower than the stocks themselves. Therefore, through diversification, the risk of the portfolio has decreased while increasing the return minimally from the original portfolio. Additionally, the tangency point highlights that for a very minor increase in the standard deviation, the expected return will increase by roughly 8% more than the original portfolio. Again, this shows a well-diversified portfolio. Lastly, we have the security market line. There are a number of things that this security market line identifies about the ultimate portfolio. Firstly, there are 3 stocks that have negative historical returns over 2007 to 2012, being Berkeley, Summit Resources, and Resolute Mining. These stocks are considered to be overvalued, however, it is predicted that these industries are growing based on economic and environmental grounds, consequently being good investments. Secondly, it is noted that all stocks under the security market line are overvalued, while stocks above the security market line are undervalued. The security market line is downward sloping for the period of 2007 to 2012. This is particularly due to the stock market crash in 2008. However, if 2008 was not included, it would significantly alter the slope of the security market line and also affect the average earnings of each of the stocks within the portfolio. To evaluate our portfolio, we are going to have a look at some important questions. Firstly, how do we expect our new portfolio to perform compared to the original portfolio? Well, the new portfolio is expected to outperform the original portfolio. From the capital market line, we can identify that the tangent point and the global minimum variance point have less or similar risk. However, will distribute a higher expected return. Additionally, the global minimum variance point portfolio highlights that beta will decrease by roughly 0.2, consequently making it move less with the market fluctuations. Secondly, is our new portfolio superior or inferior to the market? It is expected that the global minimum variance portfolio will be inferior to the market. This is because it has a greater risk and lower return than the market. However, where the tangency point is chosen, the portfolio would be superior to the market due to the higher returns for the given level of risk. Thirdly, what would we expect if the market proxy changed? If the market proxy changed, we would have a poor judgment and be unable to accurately measure our portfolio to the market. With all our stocks coming from the Australian stock market, it is very appropriate, and an international market proxy would not provide any valuable insight into the stock's performance. Additionally, the stocks chosen include some larger companies as well as some smaller ones. Consequently, ASX 300 is expected to represent the market the best due to its diversified range of Australian companies. Lastly, were we satisfied with our investment strategy? And did we change it during the second half of the game, and why? Our portfolio did not change for doing the second portfolio. This is because our portfolio is the ideal portfolio to successfully meet the objectives and strategies of our client. Additionally, it gave a good return and future prospects looking very strong. Well, this brings us to the close of the presentation. However, please post us questions as we would love to discuss this ultimate portfolio with you more in depth. Remember, this is your step to success.